I feel like this is gonna be a long video. Men with podcasts. Y'all saw it. Y'all saw it all over TikTok, all over social media, everywhere. I know this is not a new topic. It's been forever, and I took forever to make this video. I've been gone for a long time. But that's also because I was enjoying my summer, and I've been in school. I'm in college now. Yay, I'm getting higher education. But yeah, so I've had a lot to do, and no time to do this. So yeah, I'm finally getting a chance to do that now, because I didn't even know I had these scripts. I forgot I made these. Scripts. So I'm trying to get them out now. Yay! But yeah, today's video is about men with podcasts and the manosphere. So let's talk about it. So what's the big issue? What's the deal? What's the issue? The issue is that men in general having podcasts that everyone is... Dang, what was that? The issue isn't that men in general with the podcast is a bad thing. It's that not every man should have a podcast. That was the hardest sentence I've ever said in my whole life. The reason a wide range of people aren't with the idea of a man with a podcast is like this is because of a specific genre of men who are the owners of a podcast. That being mansplaining, woman-hating, manipulative, condescending, double-standard rudeness, and hypocritical content that are on certain podcasts run by men. That happen to be run by men. Also, the idea of a very popular word now known as the manosphere. This is a space on the internet in which men gather, chat, and communicate with one another. Now, at first that doesn't sound like a bad thing. Men just talking on the internet, being men, but what it really entails is men talking about anti-feminist views, sexist ideologies, blaming women as a whole, and feminism for the world's issues. These communities basically invite the hatred and resentment of women and girls. Today, we're going to dive deep into that topic. Let's go.
Yo, shorty really had the audacity to say I was doing bare minimum. Like, you know how much time and effort it takes to write a good morning text message? Like, that's a lot of effort for real.
Deadass.
I can't date women that make $1 more than me. Like, she gotta quit her job.
Word, that'd be embarrassing.
No, like, I gotta be the breadwinner. As a man, like,
Facts.
nah, don't get me started. I cannot stand when a female's stomach look like oatmeal pies. Like, that is nasty.
Don't your mama got a stomach like that? Like, I could have sworn Miss Brenna got like 7 kids. Like,
okay, but that's different. Like, that's my mother. Like, would you date your mother? No. Like,
okay, but
I'm
still,
talking about
bro,
females. Like, not my mother.
Yeah, bro, it's a double standard. My bad.
I mean, I would prefer that she a virgin, but like she gotta be experienced like at the same time. Like you can't just be a virgin and then not be experienced. Like that don't make no sense.
Word.
Yeah. Not liking black women ain't a bad thing. It's literally just a preference. Like
You speaking facts, bro.
I could not date a female that's over 200 pounds. Like there's a limit.
Deshaun, ain't your mama, your grandma, and your sister all like 340 pounds?
Yo, don't come from my family though. Like they different.
Saying.
Like that's not the same thing. Like,
but how would you feel if somebody said that about your sister? Like,
okay, but that's not the same thing. Just because I tell you that I love you, buy you things, and tell you that my grandmother sent you from heaven does not mean I want a relationship. Like,
right, females be delusional with that.
Yo, let's talk about why females be buying hair. Like, why are you buying hair?
Right.
Okay, so would you rather date a ghetto black creature or any other beautiful race?
Bro, don't make me pig. Like,
yo, that reminds me of that one time that shorty called me a narcissist. Like, we're all narcissistic in our own way. Like, everybody's a narcissist, like, in their own way. Like,
right, like, we all got things to work on.
Women should not be having relations if they don't want a baby. Like,
word, preach. Okay, but from a female's perspective, like, when we say no, y'all literally get mad and try to force...
Okay, but...
Yeah.
Well...
I'm waiting. Speechless.
Well, you're wrong.
How am I wrong? I'm waiting.
No, like, I'm right.
Okay, so do you have any sources? Like,
it's a known fact.
I'm Keisha from Texas, and you do realize in order to have equality, women deserve rights too, right?
Nah. Where's your proof? Find the post and tag me in it, because that's a lie. Like,
yo, go to the next person, bro.
Yo, if she is a single mother, she is trash.
Okay, but isn't your mama also a single mother? You and your siblings have different last names, like...
Okay, well, that's not the same thing. Like, that's my family, bro. Like, you can't just compare the two. Like, those are two different things. Like...
So, men with the podcast. This has been all over the internet. And people commenting, talking, duetting, deliberating on the topic of men with podcasts. The men being the misogynistic genre. There have been notable podcasters who have rose to popularity because of these podcasts, such for having these hypocritical and sexist views, calling themselves alphas, sigma males, high value men, 1%ers, and more. The issue with all this, though, is that their views are so influential and will reach audiences young and old, which creates an environment of hatred against another group or another gender. That gender being women and or female presenting individuals. The rhetoric with these individuals are choosing to put out into the world is an unrealistic outlook of the world around them, mostly because of a failed love life, some sort of rejection in the past, or something someone conveyed to them, which in the past made them think the way they do now, or try to find the communities in which they are a part of now that gave them such a horrible outlook. And or just merely surfing on the internet, finding these podcasts, forums, groups, and communities on places like 4chan, Reddit, Twitter, TikTok, whatever it may be, Instagram. And these communities validate their starting curiosities. And these people thinking they have some sort of power in the way that they can have someone completely in control. Have control over their partner, being completely in control, demand a housewife, or demand total obedience of another person. These men also have views on how women dress, present themselves, makeup, etc., and find an issue with it as if they believe everything a feminine presenting person does is for their gaze, their approval, which in most cases it's really not. Especially for them specifically on the podcast is not. There also are men with a very traditionalistic mindset that are always quite toxic to the modern world we live in today. And they seemingly make an effort to really double down on what they like to call the modern woman and blame them for not having a traditional view of the world, like wanting to be independent, own their own stuff, not depend on another person for basic needs, and doing their own basic needs, and just generally being a regular human being who can do things on their own.
So allegedly women don't like it now when you catcall them and when you grope them in public and when you say inappropriate things to them in public and when you keep staring at them and their friends in public and when they kindly ask you to leave but you keep staring at them in public and when they say, no, I don't want you to buy me a drink, but you're still trying to buy them a drink in public. Apparently they don't like that anymore, and it just has me thinking, is every woman in this day and age a lesbian? Because
this is like, it sort of sounds like they want a maid or someone who just generally will be 100% submissive to them and do whatever they want 100% of the time. And what they believe to be a woman being hypermasculine is simply believe them being empowered, owning themselves, being independent, and being able to take care of themselves instead of what was 40 years ago and women having to be housewives because that was expected of them. That was what they learned throughout childhood. And to be housewives and only learn how to be mothers and caretakers for children and their husbands, and not being able to be independent just because that's what the world expected of them. So they were not able to really go out of that mold. And if they did, most likely they were harassed or exiled or talked about in some way. And if they weren't independent, they'd be scorned. They would be scorned for it.
If my chick said, I want to do OnlyFans, I'm like, all right, then cool, go do it. How much you made? 10 grand, all right, give me 8. All right, cool.
What woman is going to give you 8 grand?
You're my woman, you're doing OnlyFans, you're selling my product. What the fuck?
Your product?
Yes,
The
correct.
woman is not
Next
your
question.
Now, what are some of these groups in the manosphere? Let's talk about that. There are communities and groups like the MRAs, which means Men's Rights Activists. According to internetmatters.org, They advocate political change that will benefit men. However, much of their activism consists of harassment and abuse towards feminists and other female public figures. Another group, called Men Going Their Own Way, according to Internet Matters, is men who argue that women are so toxic that men should avoid them altogether. Some MGTOW will date women but avoid anything serious like getting married, while others won't even become friends with women. One more group I'd like to put on notice for you guys is called the Pickup Artists, teaching men seductive strategies so they can be more successful in attracting women. Many of these techniques include mistreating women, such as insulting them, negging, or disregarding consent altogether.
A woman will go to a job interview for a job of her dreams and dress up, come prepared with a resume, wear a suit, dress modestly because she knows the job is contingent upon how she dresses and how she presents herself. Then that same will go home to her boyfriend, dress like a hoe, try to go to the club. Boyfriend says, hey, why are you dressed like that? She'll look at him and say, shut up, Tom. I do what I want. The patriarchy can't control me. And walks out the fucking house. And will openly disrespect her fucking man. She will go ahead and put more power and importance on dressing for a job for someone that doesn't give a fuck about her, okay, over her own man. That's the world we live in today. Women want to go ahead and get all the benefits of looking, dressing, smelling, and acting like a without being treated like a.
As you can see from the definitions of these groups, they are very harmful to women and just people in general, because what? And just their other members. And the outside implications of this is that the fact that these men or young boys learn extremely toxic techniques that are supposed to and are guaranteed to give them access to women, further proving their toxic ideology about women and how they dominate the world in the sphere of dating, being neglectful towards women, harassing people, or even the individuals who go by the name, incels, which I actually have a video about, who are so extreme in their actions that they even voice such hatred to women and girls that they speak of murderous intentions and extreme violence towards them. I made a video about that. It's true. It's in my video if you want to watch that. It's kind of triggering if you don't like mentions of like murder, mass killing, or just like in general violence towards women. You may not want to watch that one, but if you are not triggered by that topic, then go right on ahead. It's a little bit of a scroll, but you'll find it. You can watch it. It's not very long, I don't think so. But I find this very harmful in this day and age, like where we live in a patriarchal society which allows for this sort of foolishness to occur. Women are degraded for any and everything, and even for things that are something that they can't personally control, and some men seemingly can't take the time to just think a little bit, and seemingly are not able to take the blame for shortcomings and pushing everything onto women in order to make the situation as if it's all women, and within our society could have been solved and women had just done something different. Now, I am not saying that either side is entirely correct 100% of the time. There are women who have the wrong idea, and there are men who have the wrong idea. I just think that there shouldn't be so much blame thrown around all the time. These podcasts where men are getting women onto their shows and bashing them and making fun of their actions for absolutely no reason other than to pander to their mostly, if not all, male audience, to generalize them and make the case and twist women's words into like something that they did not say, is not a good thing. It's not a fair thing, and it just makes it so much harder to have good communication and just general civil discourse between the two genders and make amends. Just like have a genuinely good conversation about things we could be doing to make the situation better for the both of us instead of arguing. With all this, there's probably so much more to unpack that I did not get to unpack, and there are a lot to try and find this under the surface for a more deep knowledge on these types of people. But in today's deep dive in this topic, I think you get a better grasp on what the world around men with podcasts and spreading toxic ideologies and rhetoric and stuff really is. And I think there's a lot to learn when we hear these certain things, and when we hear these individuals talk and how they speak on certain topics, certain people, women, and how concerning these topics really are, and how concerning these people are in general, and just get a better understanding on how to stop this sort of thinking and educate ourselves without harming, degrading, or invalidating one another. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you want to. I don't really care. But if you're feeling fancy and nice, you can do that. But if you guys have any questions about what I've said, if you need like a website or something or a source, I can put that in the comments or in the description. I'm not hitting my finger. But yeah, if you guys liked it, please do all those things I said a couple seconds ago. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. The next one is, I believe, why do black people always die in horror movies first? That's the next topic. And then I have to find a new topic. It took me forever to make these, so it'll probably take me forever to make the other ones. But at least we have these 3 videos. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. See you next time. Bye-bye.